I've noticed a slight disconnect when it comes to time management and organization between myself and some of the people I'm close with in my life. Now, I think it's pretty easy to be organized. I find it quite easy to stay on top of my daily tasks. It's not too much of a challenge. Whereas for some others, I have noticed it become significantly more difficult for them to even just do very simple daily tasks consistently or within a certain time frame, or even just hold themselves accountable to those tasks. And I wanted to get some perspective as to what I'm doing differently and why it's effective. So that's what today's video is going to be about. Stick around if you're interested in finding out more about why I think this is basically occurring. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reese, and in today's video, I'm going to be diving into how creative procrastination has helped me master time management and organization. To be clear, this is applicable to almost anything related to organization, and I apply what I'm going to be discussing in this video to all aspects of my life. As in my finances, how I manage what goes into my calendar, how I manage my personal spaces like my home and my car to make sure that I'm able to do what I want when I want to do it. I think it's fair to say that most people would rather sit in bed and relax while watching something on their phone versus ticking something off of their to-do list and being productive. We all procrastinate. Everyone does it. I would bet money right now that you, the viewer watching this video right now, at some point throughout your day procrastinates for a period of time. It's in our nature. The law of attraction dictates it. We are attracted to the path of least resistance. So the concept that I'm discussing today is the practice of creative procrastination. Now, I've mentioned this in lots of my other videos. I do this unconsciously, but I actually came across the topic in the little short novel written by Tracy, Eat That Frog, where I came across the topic and I actually thought, hey, this probably is worth talking about in a video. It's something that I find very useful in my own life, and I think that others might gain value from hearing about it. So here we are. It's a pretty simple concept, but it can be very difficult to implement. It's difficult because the hard pill to swallow is that you will never have enough time in your day to do every single thing that you need or want to do. They can be interchanged in this instance, but you will never have enough time because at any time that you're doing something, you will be putting something else off during that period of time. And we definitely are busy people these days. We have so much on our plates that doing everything that you need to accomplish might not be feasible. And even in my own scenario where I think I'm pretty organized and manage my time well, I even don't have enough time to do everything that I want to do. And the one thing that I've specifically noticed is that people will go all in where they try to do everything they need to do. Like it's a weekend and I've got 2 days to get everything done and just everything goes into that time, or they'll do the polar opposite and completely avoid their obligations and do very little of what they actually need to do. There's no real focus in these two scenarios. There's either a full-blown effort to just get things done out of the way and corners get cut, mistakes get made, or things just don't get done because they get distracted throughout, or there's a crippling pressure which holds people back from actually even starting what they need to do because it's just weighing on them that they are going to not be able to accomplish all of the things that they need to do. And this is where I took something from the book that really, truly, I really liked this. It added a lot of value and I'm really glad that I read it. It went like this. One of the main reasons why very successful people perform consistently is based on what they choose to procrastinate on. Let me ask you something. In terms of being productive, have you ever heard the term or saying, do the worst first? Because that's a shit saying. Forget about that garbage. We're moving on from that. A better version of this saying would be, do the most important thing you need to do first. Then do the next most important thing you need to do first or second. Then do the next most important thing you need to do third, and so on. Literally prioritize your priorities and do them in that order. This is delegation, time management, and organization at its finest. Sequentially categorizing the most important tasks that you need to accomplish or carry out throughout your day, and then actually going and spending time to do them is the best way to level up. There's no other way to say it. It's the best way to level up. And the beauty of this is that it's so simple. The simplest way to actually do this is to write a list of all of the things that you need to do and then ordering them in level of priority. So what is the highest priority task? Put it at the top of your list. Once you've built that original list, transfer it over to a priority list and then start doing them. How do you know if it's a priority? Well, it's a priority if it makes sense to invest time in doing that activity right now. And at the time of recording this video, as an example for me, my priorities from a day-to-day basis are things like exercising, doing my Miracle Morning Challenge, and contributing to YouTube in some form or another, whether it be scripting, filming, editing, whatever it is, just actually moving forward and continuing to create content that I am enjoying creating. I'm not even creating it for you, the viewer. I just genuinely like talking about these topics, and this is a platform that I can get these videos out onto and feel good if I come back to them because I want to remind myself of something that I've learned, like the topic about what I'm talking about today from what I've learned in this book. And then talking in terms of my lower end priorities, watching things like YouTube videos in my backlog, cleaning around the house when it doesn't necessarily need to be done that day are the types of activities that I might not prioritize unless I have nothing better to do. While I'm here, I may as well quickly mention it. I've also left a link to the book in the description below if you wanted to pick up a paper copy for yourself. And if you could do me a favor when you're down in that description and hit that like and subscribe button, I would really appreciate the support. And just to quickly touch on this, you can actually take this a step further. The way to get your lower priority tasks off of your priority list is to use the word no. The word no is a very powerful tool. Say no to others. Learn to say no to yourself. Use the word as a tool and learn to incorporate it in your day-to-day life. And I just wanted to mention as well that it is okay to avoid these less productive or not important tasks that we create for ourselves. I've actually made a video on the topic called Am I Being Productive or Just Active? I think it really sets the scene about how I, as someone who thinks, I think I'm pretty productive in my days, but I definitely used to fill my days with a lot of crap, useless tasks just to be active. I thought if I was still doing something, I'm definitely being productive here. I'm definitely adding value to my life. And what I learned after reading this in a different book altogether, that being productive versus being active are two very different things. And it is something worth understanding, especially if you're someone who really struggles to slow down or really struggles to disseminate between activities that you might be doing that are value add versus not value add. So if you're interested, I've left a link down in the description below to that video as well. Feel free to go check it out after this one. Simply put though, the way you take steps to improve your efficiency will only drive your productivity up, and it will give you the ability to function and live without unwanted stress. Part 2 to the video you're watching right now is for when you start to eventually procrastinate, because it's unavoidable. We all have those pockets of time where we do eventually procrastinate. And part 2 is focus on procrastinating on the lower priority tasks. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, the path of least resistance is calling our name. And when it eventually does catch up to us, we will have some periods of time throughout our days that are basically time wasting, unproductive in lots of different ways, whether it be you on your phone, you just actually taking your time out and playing some video games, who knows what it is, but there is a discussion to be had about when that takes effect. What I'm about to quickly mention is something that I believe people should do when they're feeling a little unmotivated or planning to kill some time doing a whole lot of not much at all. It is the secret that keeps me ahead of myself, and if it works for me, I don't see why it wouldn't work for others. The secret is to procrastinate on the low value and low priority tasks when you are in these pockets of time where you might just be on your phone scrolling. It's called doom scrolling. I learned that recently, where you're just scrolling through your phone. These are the times when you do the low priority tasks so that when it comes time to do the bigger and more important tasks, you can fully immerse yourself in them, focus on them, and get them done without this stress of having to do those lower end tasks. A great example for me is when I'm writing a YouTube video, I don't want to have any distractions and I don't want to have anything lingering, anything weighing me down where I'm like, oh crap, I need to clean my car because I'm going to a wedding tomorrow and it's really important that I do that. But this YouTube video, I'm going to fall behind on my schedule if I don't do it. This is the priority. When I was doom scrolling on my phone 3 days earlier, I could have gone and cleaned my car because I haven't driven it anywhere because I work from home. I could have gone and done that low value priority task in that time and then probably still had time to doom scroll as well. And the point being that when it came time to write this YouTube video, I had time to focus on it. Like I said, there is going to be a part 2 to this video and it will be titled Prepare Vigorously, or it might be Preparing Vigorously, and then there might be some text that follows. The point is that I highly recommend watching that video after this video, especially if it is out. I'll leave a link in the description below when it does eventually come out. I have to stress this enough. This is single-handedly one of the most useful things I do every single day. I've done it for so long. It allows me to remain reliable, organized. My time management is off the charts for someone my age, I believe. I don't believe many people are as organized as I might be. I might be talking myself up here, but look, pretty comfortable with my ability to be held accountable to time, reliable and efficient when I'm doing things. This is going to be the best video and probably the most funnest video I've made for me personally, and I highly recommend you watch it after this one. Setting that aside, to summarize today's video, I highly recommend that you continue to revisit your priority list, your to-do list, whatever it is, whatever list format it's taken, and weed out those low value priority tasks for another day, for a time where you're going to waste time, and focus on the high value tasks. Sounds so simple, I know, and it is that simple. Get a piece of paper out, write 1 to 10, write what you need to do, and literally do exactly what I just said in terms of prioritizing them, and see how effective it is for your day-to-day life. It will be life-changing. There's no more to it. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you got something out of it. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below. I really do appreciate the support. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.